Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, my lunar brothers and sisters, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. They are quite far out at the moment. I am quite booked up, and also I'm working on a big project for the channel, so you'll have to forgive me for that. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So this week, for our key to the week, we have the moon card, right? So the moon in the moon card for the moon child. This is an interesting one because the moon card very often represents the past. It very often represents the reflection that we see from things that once were. Sometimes this can be where the past comes to visit. Sometimes it can be an echo of what is or what was. And more importantly with the moon card as well, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, or maybe we're not seeing things exactly as clearly as we could. So sometimes they can be distorted, but sometimes it can be that we are, you know, on the other hand of that as well. Sometimes the moon card can see the rose tinted glasses finally coming off, which means that you see a person, a situation, a previous event, you see it in a very different light, or you see it exactly as it is, as opposed to how you would like it to be, or as opposed to how it is that you actually remember it. So the moon card has, I mean, they all have so many different meanings, but the fact that we have this, I feel like this is going to be this week us seeing the past or some person in a completely different light. And I got to be honest, with what I know about the astrology, this could be, I mean, last week we saw a whole bunch of stuff revealed, right? This week we could start to see what those, what the implications of those things that we learned actually are. For your actions and options this week, we have the Page of Swords. So it looks like you are ready to be out here, right? Swinging your your mini or mighty sword, whichever way it is. And it kind of looks like this week you are, remember sometimes the Page of Swords can literally be a person that's like a bit of a shit stirrer or a shit talker. And the fact that this comes up in your actions and options, this week you could be calling somebody out. A situation could arise this week where you're kind of like, no, you know what? I've bitten my tongue long enough. I've held silent long enough. And now I have to say something. Now, what I want you to think of is whatever comes up this week, make sure that you only respond to it. Right, so what I mean is, if you're the person that launches into a tirade, just out of nowhere, and everyone's like, okay, where the fuck did that come from? The chances are it's going to be you that everybody looks at and goes, ooh, child. It could be like that. So although this is your actions and options, this week I want you to respond to whatever comes up. Don't launch an attack this week, because the chances are it's going to backfire, or you will come out of it looking or feeling a little bit sheepish. All right. Now, just because don't let anything or anyone convince you that you don't know what you know, but find a way to use that information that is actually that's actually gonna paint you, not even in the best light, but is going to allow you to voice your opinion or speak your truth without coming across as like a bad person or a guilty party, so to speak. For your communications and conversations, you have the King of Wands, right? So this week, somebody may approach you or challenge you outright in public. This may be somebody tries to call you out on something. It might be that somebody, if you work on YouTube like I do, this could be a week where you get a lot of trolls. This could be a week where maybe somebody tries to call you out or bring you out in some way. And to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. This person is very likely to be spitting out their dummy this week. There could be, maybe they even say something in what they perceive to be jest. And it's like you receive it and you think to yourself, wow, even if that was a joke, not fucking funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, this could be a week for that. And remember, this is in your communications and conversations. This could also be a fire sign person, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Remember, the moon card can represent the past, right? So this week, someone from your past, I know who this is for me. I know it in my bones, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so not here for it. I'm just not here for it. So, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I know who that is for me. Yeah. If that's the case, just say so. Shut it down. Simply, easily, quickly. Don't launch off into a tirade. Don't make it a battle. Don't feed into any of the drama. Just be quick, clear, and concise. Thank you, but no thank you. All right, it's a week where you could, you know, with everything that's happening, you could find yourself getting sucked in. So it's important that you don't bother. All right, especially if this person happens to be a bit of a gossip. Remember, if somebody will gossip and chat shit about somebody else to you, they will happily do the same thing about you to somebody else. All right, I don't need people like that in my life, and I'm pretty sure you don't either. For your money and materials, you have the Page of Wands, right? So you've got 2 pages here. I was hoping we could avoid some shit, but it looks like no chance. Sorry, I've got potty mouth this week. Whenever you see two pages come up in the tarot in a single spread, it represents disquiet, or usually some sort of I think in Greek we call it vriazone. It's like, you know, friction. And I kind of feel like this might be a week where we're getting some, you know, it might be where someone or something from the past really tries to aggravate or agitate you. And how you respond to this is going to be everything. So it's really important, especially if this is, you know, if it's public. If it's public, just find. I'm just like trying to formulate what I can say, what I should say. You know, if it's public, just find a way to politely, quietly, and quickly shut them down. All right. When it comes to your finances and your money, you got the Page of Wands. It's such a very nice card. What it tells me is that this week you could have an amazing idea, or you could be working on an amazing idea, something that you are going to take public or that you are going to release out into the world, but it's not quite ready yet. It looks like as well this week, one of the things that's going to help you enhance your earning potential is your ability to have fun. Cancerians love to laugh, they love to giggle. Sometimes they've got, like, very often a wickedly funny sense of humor. And this week, finding ways to tap back into that is going to be really important, okay? For your home and environment, this week, you know, this could be some shit with the neighbours. It could be that you are maybe discovering something about your locality that you're either, you know, unaware of, or maybe even, you know, it kind of looks like it might come close but not necessarily happen specifically to you. So this is just maybe a week for you to be vigilant, because it could be that it gets a little bit crazy out there. And then finally, for your health and vitality, this week I kind of feel like you're going to be taking it up a notch. So if you're already on some sort of diet or regime, this week it kind of looks like you're, you know, you could be ramping it up, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just, you know, if you've started at 10 miles an hour, you maybe only want to go up to 12 or 15, not straight to 60 or 100. Do you know what I mean? Like, keep the pace. For your love and relations, you have the 9 of Wands. All right, so there's a lot of fire here, right? And I mean, you're a water sign, and you've got, you know, there's no earth here, which means this could be an interesting week, because it might be that you don't, you know, you'll need something from somebody else to keep you grounded. So just something for you to think about. For those of you that are single, I'm very sorry to say, but it does look like you'll be hearing from an ex. Damn it. This could be coming up in a big way. You could be having some sort of conversation. It may very well be as well that this person's health is not good. you know, and that's why you're hearing from them. You know, maybe they need help, maybe they need support, or maybe they just miss you and they want to do the whole, oh, you know, well, now that I'm lonely and beat up and unwell, I'll go back to them. For those of you that are partnered, it could be this week that your partner needs some support from you or needs some sort of assistance, and it may as well, because it's the Nine of Wands, remember, it might be that this week something that you do or something that you say or something, you know, that you plan to respond in a big way, it might be your partner that says to you, stay your hand, bite your tongue, you know, or if you are going to respond to this, make sure that you do it in a way that is going to paint you, not paint you in the best light, because it's not like you've done anything wrong. If somebody comes for you, it's natural, right, to defend yourself, but it's kind of like the difference between, you know, if like someone punches you in the arm and then you take a hammer to their face, disproportionate, do you know what I mean? And this week you could find that your responses are magnified. You know, for what little somebody brings you, you could want like ultimate retribution. So I'm feeling very theatrical this week, can you tell? Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting week for Cancerians for sure, sun, moon or rising. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week as best you can. I know a lot of you are like, really? Yeah, have as best week as you possibly can. Let me know in the comments how this shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.